Throughout 2021, I read some awesome comics and manga and felt that I should let you know my top 5 series that I couldn't put down. And real quick, I want you to right now in the comments, tell me your top 5 books that you read this year. Seriously, scroll down, tell me what your favorite books were. The reason why is that I am always looking to read some dope stories and I'm essentially asking for suggestions. So, what are you waiting for? Do it. Comment down below your favorite books that you read this year. And real quick, I wanted to give some honorable mentions that did not make it into my top 5. We have Naruto, which I read for the first time this year and loved. Love Parameter, don't ask about it, don't read it unless you're 18 or older. Master of the Edge, Saga, Spy X Family, Detective Comics Volume 6 of the New 52, and the Marvel Now series of Black Widow. Okay. With all that out of the way, here are my top 5 series that I read in 2021. Each of these series are in the top 5 due to one thing and one thing only. I couldn't put them down and stop reading. I was addicted to each one of these books and couldn't put them down to save my life. Okay, here we go. At number 5, we have Bakuman. Bakuman is the story of Moritaka Mashiro and Akito Takagi, two junior high students as they strive to make a name in the manga scene. Created by Tsuki Oba and Takashi Obata, I probably butchered their names, the creators behind the hit series Death Note, Bakuman is an introspective and meta story on creating manga and the publishing side of manga. To me, this is a must-read series for any person who wants to get into writing or drawing comics. It shows the highs and lows, what it takes to have a hit series, as well as shows the importance of both networking with other creators, the power of friendly competition in order to better yourself as a creator, and the importance of never giving up. This series is one of the main reasons why I switched up how I created books this year, and what led me to creating my series, The Girl with the Mega Fists, which will release on Kickstarter in February 2022 with its first volume, which is 170 pages, so get ready for that next year. At number 4, we have Nailbiter. This series made my list for 2021 even though I had previously read it several years ago. I decided to reread the first volume and a couple days later I had reread the entire series. It's so good. Created by Joshua Williamson and Mike Henderson, Nailbiter centers around the fictional town of Buckaroo, Oregon, which has produced 16 of the United States' worst serial killers, dubbed the Buckaroo Butchers by urban culture. Its most recent creation is Edward Charles Warren, otherwise known as Nailbiter, due to his habit of chewing off his victims' nails and part of their flesh. At the start of the series, Warren has been caught by the FBI agent Charles Carroll, but Carroll has since gone missing, leaving it up to his friend and NSA agent Nicholas Finch to search for him. Nicholas decides to start his search in Buckaroo, where he begins to question why the small town has produced so many murderers. And oh my gosh, this book is a roller coaster ride. With each issue that you read, you're constantly asking yourself what is going to happen next. Its use of horror tropes as well is amazing, and I believe this is a must-read series. My plan for 2022 is to read the sequel, Nailbiter Returns. And coming in at number 3, we have the webtoon Everything is Fine, and holy crap, everything is not fine. I literally remember the night that I started reading this webtoon. It was a super long night of drawing for your boy, and I decided to take a nice bath, turn the lights off, light a candle, and read a fun and chill webtoon. So when I saw a webtoon called Everything is Fine and the thumbnail images of a cat face, I figured this will be relaxing. And holy crap, it was not relaxing at all. Everything is Fine is the story of Sam and Maggie, a normal husband and wife with a normal life, a normal job, and a normal pet. Everything is normal. Everything is fine, except it's not. There are lots of problems happening in their little neighborhood, except we're not allowed to acknowledge that there are any problems or that any of the stuff is happening. Why? Because everything is fine. This is such a creepy series, and with every chapter you just go, holy crap, what's gonna happen? Why is this happening? Why is this character acting this way? Oh, it is just a roller coaster. And this is such a good series to get into right now, seeing how season 1 is just finished. So you have 29 episodes you can binge read for free on Webtoon. So seriously, get on that right now. Alright, for the number 2 slot, and this was hard. Real hard, because number 1 and number 2 were so close in how much they meant to me this year, and it really came down to the emotions that were brought on me. Like I said earlier in this video, each one of these series that I've mentioned made me addicted to their story. However, these last 2 books brought emotions in me that made me sit down and ponder my relationship with the story. Both of these series, to me, were the best things I read this entire year. So, number 2 is, drumroll, Chainsaw Man by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Oh my gosh, it was freaking amazing. Heck, I made several videos about Chainsaw Man on my channel. Why? Because I wanted everyone to read it. And if you haven't yet, you're crazy. Go do it right now. The characters in the story were amazing, and yes, I became a Makima simp. Whatever, cancel me, I don't care. Chainsaw Man follows the character of Denji, who hunts devils and becomes a human-devil hybrid, merging with the Chainsaw Demon. With an amazing cast of characters who are constantly at odds with each other, with a sinister villain that only shows themselves at the climactic end of the first arc, and the insane fight scenes that occur between Chainsaw Man and the other devils, this is a must-read series. But besides all the action, the story has real heart to it. Denji is such a lovable and relatable character, whose basic needs are all that matter to him, with lines like, "I want to touch some boobs," or his constant desire for, wanting food or just sleeping on a comfortable place, or just wanting to go on a date with a beautiful girl. It's easy to fall in love with the character of Denji because you see yourself in him, and his actions. You go, yeah, I would act that way too, I would say that. And at the end of the day, he just wants comfort and happiness, and he shows us that those can come through the simplest things in life. And with a new saga starting in 2022, as well as the anime, expect to see me talking a lot more about Chainsaw Man because the series is that good. And finally, at number 1, it's The Promised Neverland. I could talk so much about this series, but I was addicted for 2 weeks when I was reading this. Created by Kayu Shirai and Pasuka Demizu, I probably butchered their freaking names, I'm sorry, but The Promised Neverland is one of the best-selling manga series of all time and has won several awards. What sucks is that I did have a terrible anime adaptation for season 2, hopefully one day that will get fixed, but let's talk about why this manga series was my number 1 and why ultimately out of all of these I think you should read it. And if you're not into manga and you'd rather read comics, I think this is a perfect gateway into manga for comic book readers. The story is about Emma, Norman, and Ray, who live and have grown up in Gracefield House, which is a self-contained orphanage for children, who are watched over by their mom, Isabella. At the end of chapter 1, however, you realize that not everything is as it seems, and our characters realize that they need to break out and find out what has happened to the world outside of Gracefield House. This manga is so suspenseful at times, as well as horrific. The first arc felt like the first season of Prison Break, and the later arcs, were just filled with so much awesome world building. And one of the biggest reasons why the story made my number 1 spot was the emotions that it brought in me. The characters in this story were amazing and so well written. The main character, Emma, I freaking hated throughout the entirety of this series. It's crazy that I love this series so much, but the main character, Emma, annoyed me through the majority of it. However, when I got to the end of the story, when I got to those final 2 or 3 chapters, I remember breaking down and crying because of the journey that I just went on with her. My wife came into our room and was like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, here we go. I know many people didn't like the ending and felt like the ending of the series wasn't good, but to me, I thought it was perfect. And I hope to make a video sometime next year talking about it. But if you read nothing else in 2022, please, 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 please read The Promised Neverland. It is such a great series, and I hope that one day it gets the anime adaptation that it deserves. And there you have it. Those are my top 5 books that I read in 2021. Like I said at the very beginning, please, please, please tell me in the comment section what your favorite series, what your favorite books were this year. Also, thank you guys for being okay with my congested voice, because I've been sick for the last 2 freaking weeks. It sucks. It sucks. Thank you to my patrons who make it possible for me to make these videos and for me to make my own comics and manga. If you haven't yet, remember to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I hope you have a great day. Hope you continue to have a silly goose time, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.